Hello everyone and welcome to a quick book talk for 5 Furry Familiars by Lynn Cahoon. This is my first completed read for 2025 and I am so happy I picked this one. I love this series. I love this series. Okay, so if you're looking for books that are set in Idaho, this series is set in Idaho. This is book number 5 out of 7. So far there are 7 books. Will there be more? I don't know. The 7th book is scheduled to be released this year. But this is part of a Kitchen Witch mystery series. This is a cozy mystery fantasy series. It is a cozy mystery, but there are fantastical elements as it's a kitchen witch. Mia Malone, who is the main character of this, is a witch. Her grandmother is a witch. She lives in Magic Springs, Idaho, where most of the residents know about a coven of witches or are witches. So, a lot of witches. Some have certain powers. They pray to a goddess. Mia has taken this abandoned school and converted it into her home and her catering business. And there are ghosts at this school. She meets one ghost in here and finally gets the ghost's name, a little girl named Ruth. And that's basically the story. Mia is trying to develop her catering business. She's at this point in this particular book where she has to take on a job at a lodge to financially support her catering business a little bit more as it is still growing. So basically Mia has 2 jobs. She has a boyfriend named Trent. Trent has a younger brother named Levi. Mia lives with Christina. Christina is the little sister of a man that Mia used to date, and that did not end well, but she is still best friends with Christina. And Christina comes from a very, very wealthy family. So Mia is dating Trent, and Trent's little brother Levi is dating Christina. So maybe they'll end up as sister-in-laws anyway. Who knows? I hope so, because I'm loving this group of people. Mia has a cat, this cat here living with her, named Mr. Darcy. Mr. Darcy is the cat, but he is sharing his body with a man named Dorian. And that's a whole little thing that we're still trying to see if they can separate the two. One day, Mia comes home and finds a box of 3 kittens. The 3 kittens here. This one you do find out is a girl, and then the 2 here are boys. And they're trying to figure out who left these kittens, why they left these kittens, and things like that. There's a lot of talk of witches having familiars. And her boyfriend, Trent, has a familiar dropped off who is this little Maltese. I almost said hellhound, but his little hellhound is also referenced in this particular book, but Trent gets this little Maltese. And yeah, so this man shows up wanting to propose to Christina. This is a guy that she knew from high school. As with Cozy Mysteries, the main character, in this case, Levi and Christina, are suspects in this man's murder. The man that was murdered was this man that wanted to propose to Christina. So Christina and Levi are suspects in the murder. Mia and her boyfriend, Trent, have inserted themselves into the investigation to be able to clear Levi and Christina. That's the Cozy Mysteries. They either insert themselves into the investigation because they think the police are incompetent, they want to clear themselves, or they are overly invested to try to clear someone that they care for deeply. So that's your typical Cozy Mysteries. It's the same formula, just little changes and plot points are modified. But that's your main storyline with Cozy Mysteries. And obviously they understand that they're not officials and they have to get the information to the actual police chief in this book named Mark Baldwin. You who do have a little baby being born in this book, and I loved the baby's name. I'm not going to say the baby's name, but I loved it. I will let you find the baby's name in this if you're going to read this. Do you need to read these books in order? Technically, no, with Cozy Mysteries, but there are certain little plot threads that you will not have a grasp of if you read these out of order. So I highly recommend reading these in order. But with cozy mysteries, I mean, cozy mysteries can be, I have seen books or series in cozy mysteries be over 50 books long, and technically you can read them out of order, but there's just little plot points from book to book that you will be missing if you read them out of order. So that's my advice with that. And so, you know, Mia and Trent while Mia's working at the lodge, Trent runs a grocery store. They come together when they can on their dates, and they discuss this murder of this man that was going to propose to Christina and find out why they're trying to figure out who did it and why. And that's the story. So what is your representation? In this particular series, it is up to your imagination. Especially in this book, nothing is overtly said about skin tone or racial diversity or anything like that. So it's going to be up to your imagination. As far as your content warning, you have an affair talked about. Just kind of mentioned, it does not go into details, but there's a relationship that is mentioned in this that was terminated due to an affair. And then you have blood mentioned. It's a murder, but it does not get graphic. It's just like they want to find a bloody knife. That's kind of the extent of it. As far as words that could be particularly bothersome, before I tell you that, when I physically read this book, I also listened to the audiobook. The audiobook was available via Audible, which is where I listened to this one, narrated by Angie Hickman, and it is 7 hours and 42 minutes on standard one-time speed. And again, we have the following words used in this book that could be bothersome to some readers. We have the word God, not in religious context, 2 times. One of those times was used more like a mythological god. Now, goddess is used quite a bit, but it is in their religion here in this book. Like they thank the goddess, send a prayer to the goddess, that type of a thing. So goddess is used quite a bit. I did not tally it in this case. One time that God does come up in this is as a mythological being, like I don't even remember the reference because it was very, very fast. Kind of like think of a sports god. So it's used with a lowercase g in this particular case. We have the other following words, each one time only. And that's the thing with cozy mysteries. You don't have to worry about anything sexually explicit or rough language. So we have the following words that come up one time: wanker, hell, and screwing. And screwing is not used in reference to sex. It is used to someone saying like, oh, I'm just screwing around. I'm just effing around. I'm just messing around. That type of a situation. And this edition was 271 pages. And this does have some recipes in the back of the book. I have a recipe for chicken gyros with tzatziki sauce. And for the actual tzatziki sauce. And then there's an excerpt from a book called All of You to Death, which is another series or another book written by this author that is not a part of this series. And then we have Cozy Mystery, or acknowledgements, and the about the author, which I will read real quick. Lynn Cahoon is the New York Times and USA Today best-selling author of The Tourist Trap, Kitchen Witch, Cat Latimer, Farm to Fork, and Survivor's Book Club Mystery Series. No matter where the mystery is set, readers can expect a fun ride. And then it lists the author's website, which I will try to list in the description box if the website still exists, which I imagine it is, as this was published in 2024. So let me know if you have read 5 Furry Familiars. If you are reading a Kitchen Witch mystery series, which book are you on, and are you enjoying it? If you have not read the series but have read other books by Lynn Cahoon, let me know which one that you have read. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I will talk to you later.